Hi everyone, this is Howlak again, and welcome to another Java tutorial session. In today's discussion, I will be talking about interfaces. However, uh, in this discussion of interfaces, it will be with the Java Standard Edition number 8. Okay. Um, okay, so let's just get started. As you see on my screen here, I created beforehand a number of interfaces. Okay, so main is in its own package, all right, and another package is called interface A, B, and C. Okay, and they're all in com.lac.how. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Now, interface A. Okay, um, this will be my super interface. Okay, which the other interfaces will inherit from, and I'm going to have here public static void. I'm just going to call it abstract method. Okay. All right. Now, because it's abstract method, um, what we do is um, there's no implementation. Okay. All right. And of course, I don't really need to even put the public because methods in interfaces are implicitly public, and they're also implicitly abstract. Okay. So I'll just put that in. All right, so now let's get to interface B. Okay, now to inherit from interface A, we use the keyword extends. Okay, so we don't implement. Okay, implements is for classes when classes implement interfaces. Okay, so same thing as when classes inherit another class, it's the keyword extends. Okay, so I'm gonna have interface. Okay, it's gonna inherit from interface A. Okay, so let's do it. So now here's the first thing that's new to Java 8. Okay, in Java 8, I can actually override it. Okay, I'm going to override the method. Okay, and actually provide an implementation. Okay, now to provide the implementation, I would need this new keyword default. Okay, new keyword default. All right, so with the keyword default, all right, oh, it's complaining about the level. Okay, so I have to switch to 8. Okay, because I'm running under 7. Ah, there you go, and it's gone. So in 7, you can the keyword default does not exist. Okay, so now, all right, I'm gonna just print this out. Okay, so I'm gonna print it out, and I'm just gonna say interface B. All right, I'm gonna use the hash symbol again in abstract. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, so interface B will inherit from interface A and actually provide an implementation. Okay, so now let's move to interface C. Interface C, okay, will also inherit. Okay, but let's just say that it'll have its own method called default method. Okay, just for the sake of having a method here. Okay. Oops. Okay, and again, I'll just put in interface C. Yes. All right, and then this will be its default method. Right? And I don't have to, because I'm just inheriting, I don't have to repeat and say public void or just void abstract method and this exact same line here. Okay, the inheritances will actually bring that piece of code down. Right? So I don't have to retype it again. Okay, so now we have this situation here. B and C inherit from A, but only B actually provide an actual implementation, okay, using the keyword default. Okay. All right. So now we can't remember interfaces are still considered abstract, so you can't create you can't instantiate an object from an interface type. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll just put in the same package. I'm gonna create a class. Call my class. Okay. Not a good name, but I'll keep it there like that. All right, and I'm going to implement all the interfaces. Okay, so now I have to use the keyword implements. Okay, so I can have multiple implements. Okay, B, right? Remember, you can't inherit from multiple classes, but you can inherit or implement multiple interfaces. So I'm just going to shrink this over so you can actually see the whole thing. And interface C. Okay, so that's what we have. So I had to provide an implementation before I can actually instantiate an object. Okay, so I'm just going to create a method. Okay, so this is a regular method. Alright, so here we go. And let's just say my class hash method. Okay, so that's what we have. All right, notice that everything's fine, right? It doesn't complain about anything because I don't even need to provide an implementation. So if we were not in Java 8, we would have to provide an implementation for all these interfaces, right? All the methods from these interfaces, or it will complain. Okay, but here, interface B provides an implementation, all right, with the keyword default, and here, we've actually have a method called default method, and it also provides an implementation. Okay, so everything's fine. So all the methods, the required methods have code. Okay, so default method and abstract method. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to main. I'm going to go to main. Okay, and I'm going to create my class object. Right. Okay, so there, and no surprise, I can call default method, and all right, I can call abstract method. Okay, and we know that it's going to print these two things out, right? So let me just run it. So it's going to print interface B, or sorry, default D first, right, this one, and then this, followed by this. Okay. So yeah, again, no surprise here. Right, so this is what we get. Okay, now I'm going to change it a bit. All right, I'm going to change it a bit. I'm going to add a bit of confusion here. Okay, I'm going to say, well, what if I override this as well, the abstract method? Okay, I'm going to override it. I'm going to provide an implementation. Okay, so I'm going to provide an implementation, and okay, so here we have this. Okay, so interface C abstract. Okay, so that's what we have there. All right, so we have those two. All right, now the question here now is, since both of them provide default implementation for abstract method, okay, when I actually call the method, okay, let's try running it. Okay, well, so far everything compiles, nothing's, it's not complaining, but let's try running it. Okay, so the problem here is that it's confused. It doesn't know which abstract method to use, because what we have here is in C++ the diamond shape effect, right? So so we have an interface A and then B, all right? So you think about it, B will inherit on one side and C will inherit on the other side, all right? And now my class inherits both of them, so it really causes a diamond shape, okay? And it doesn't know which abstract method to use, okay? So even though it allows us to compile, it doesn't allow us to actually run it properly. During runtime, it doesn't know which one to pick. Okay, so to avoid this, all right, we can keep the implementation. Now in my class, we have to decide which one we want to use. Okay, so I'm going to override or implements method. Okay, so I'm going to implement the method. Okay, so I'm going to implement the method, and here I can decide which one I want to use. Okay, so if I decide for B, right, then I'm going to use how we actually invoke the method that we want is with this super keyword, all right, preceded with, and then followed by the dot operator. Okay, so we can do that. All right. So now what we're saying is we want this implementation. Okay, so if I run it, okay, all right. So let's just get rid of this one. We don't need the default. Okay, anymore. So let's run it so we know what's being printed. All right. So there you go. We chose this. Okay. The default implementation from interface B. Okay. We could also, of course, choose C. Right? Yeah. Let's run it. All right, and there we have it. Of course, you can also choose both. Okay, so we can do both. Dot super dot abstract. Okay, so we're calling both now. We run it. It's going to print both of them. Right? So B and then C. Okay, no surprise there. No, except for the fact that I didn't put the correct spelling in there. Okay. All right. Okay, so that is a demonstration of Java 8's new capability. Okay, so in interfaces, we can have default implementation. Okay, and to avoid the diamond shape effect plagued by C++, right? We just use this little mechanism here. The super keyword helps a lot. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.